I understand how the people were so desperate to pick this man, this unbelievable narcissist who could change the face of our world if we let him. And the only thing that will save us.
When you combine a pop icon, a golden microphone, and a full tank of rage, you get Cher unleashing a scorched earth attack on Donald Trump and his family. With the precision of a Vegas headliner and the fury of a woman who's tired of playing nice, no one was off limits, not even Melania's icy expression. If you thought celebrity shade had boundaries, think again. In Taro 2.
I'll tell you something, if someone said that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would put my fist through his face. Someone who would bring down the country because he doesn't win does not deserve anything, deserves nothing. He deserves nothing. He does not deserve any kind of respect, loyalty. I don't think he has two moral fibers.
Cher didn't walk into the fire. She jumped straight into it, armed with gasoline, a flamethrower, and a disco ball. Her takedown of Donald Trump wasn't some soft celebrity PSA or a watered-down Instagram caption with a peace sign emoji. No, this was the verbal equivalent of a military strike, dressed in sequins and wrapped in eyeliner. The diva didn't come to whisper her opinion. She came to burn down the entire Trump narrative, with the poise of someone who's seen it all and knows a fraud when she hears one.
People he will bring with him will put an end to any hope that women have of getting the rights that we had in Roe versus Wade. I believe they will put an end to any gay marriage. They will put an end to gay adoption. It's not going to hurt me. I'm 70. It's not going to do anything to me, but it's going to do stuff to young people. And that really scares me.
Let's put it this way. If Trump's ego were a balloon, Cher didn't just pop it. She dragged it across jag carpet and launched it into a cactus patch. This wasn't a roast. It was a public exorcism of everything that makes Trump the patron saint of egomania. And the timing? Perfect. The man's been spiraling with public meltdowns, and Cher looked at that chaos and thought, let me add some vocals.
Retarded, you're morally reprehensible, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid, you have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell. You're not even interesting enough to make...
She went straight for the jugular. He's not just a narcissist. He's an existential threat in a cheap suit. That line landed so hard, it probably echoed through the fake marble halls of Trump Tower. An existential threat in a cheap suit. Not a president, not a visionary, not even a misguided uncle at Thanksgiving. Just a walking crisis in cufflinks bought at a casino gift shop. Cher made it clear. We're not just facing vanity, we're dealing with weaponized delusion.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology.
Cher, what was your reaction when you heard him say that?
Oh, come on. And he says those letters like a child that's just learning the alphabet and then pokes his finger in the air for Q. I mean, he's the most disingenuous man I've ever...
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. Picture a celebrity intervention, but instead of therapists and tearful relatives, it's one iconic performer standing alone with a mic and a mission. She wasn't calling him out for bad politics. She was exposing a decades-long con. And the best part, she did it while barely raising her voice. That's power. When a woman who survived Sonny Bono tells you someone's dangerous, you listen.
And a certain kind of supremacy in certain groups, and he lies. He tells something, and then you go back and you see what he said, and it seems like the truth both times. He's so terrific at lying.
Cher called out the cult of personality around Trump with surgical precision. The man who parades as a savior of the people. In her words, just a fame-addicted grifter playing king. And honestly, she's not wrong. Trump doesn't lead, he campaigns. He doesn't solve, he shouts. And Cher. She handed him the mirror he's been dodging for 77 years. The real twist? She wasn't angry. She was disappointed. And that hits harder. It felt like America's pop queen sat the country down for a lecture on how far it's fallen, using Trump as the prime case study in what happens when ego is mistaken for leadership. This wasn't a celebrity rant. It was a red alert, a diva's war cry. The roast Trump has been asking for since the moment he descended that golden escalator. Cher didn't just criticize him. She dragged him across every gold-plated toilet in Mar-a-Lago and back. What began as a casual jab turned into a full-blown exorcism of celebrity delusion. And let's be real, if there's anyone on earth who can match Trump's flair for dramatic entrances and custom lighting, it's Cher. The difference? She doesn't need a teleprompter to deliver a flawless verbal decapitation.
Will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that.
Well, I have to admit that I appreciate your directness, Don, and I will try and be as direct and honest with you as I possibly can be. I am positive that you are the most unattractive man I have ever met in my entire life. In the short time we've been together, you have demonstrated every loathsome characteristic of the male personality and even discovered...
First of all, Cher obliterated the myth of Trump as some golden god of real estate. To her, he's the ultimate Pinterest fail. Glitter on the outside, total disaster on the inside. The man who claims to be self-made while clinging to a $400 million starter pack from Daddy Fred. She didn't have to say it outright, but the subtext was loud and clear. If Donald Trump had been born into a regular family, he'd be the guy aggressively hawking used cologne samples outside a New Jersey mall. Then she turned her spotlight on the most sacred Trump institution, the family brand. Starting with Ivanka, who seems to think feminism means posing next to factories in heels and posting #girlboss quotes while her father shreds reproductive rights like he's running a clearance sale. Cher didn't just call out Ivanka's complicity. She threw it in a blender, added glitter, and poured it back over the Trump legacy like a dumpster fire puppet. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more savage, Don Jr. entered the chat. According to Cher's Energy, Don Jr. is what happens when cocaine gets a Twitter account. A man so desperate for his father's approval, he's basically transformed himself into a Wi-Fi-enabled bobblehead with rage issues and access to merch.
And we are back with Donald Trump, and joining us his wife Melania, sons Donald Jr., his daughter Kai has just jumped on the stage as well. She's 8 years old. Eric is with us, daughter Tiffany, and Ivanka. Welcome. It's great to have the whole family together like this. Thanks so much. Ivanka, I got to start off with you. Congratulations on your baby. How's everything going?
Thank you. Everything's going incredibly well. So Theodore is 2 weeks old.
Watching Don Jr. rant online, Cher made it clear, is like witnessing a malfunctioning animatronic at a broken-down MAGA-themed Chuck E. Cheese. Glitchy, loud, and unintentionally hilarious. She didn't have to spell it out. The message rang through. This is what happens when you try to download a personality and end up with a virus instead. Melania didn't escape the firestorm either. Cher dismantled the idea that the former First Lady was some misunderstood figure caught in the chaos. She treated that narrative like expired yogurt. Melania didn't just stand by. She posed, smirked, and occasionally tossed out a Be Best slogan like confetti at a dictator's birthday party. That glossy, robotic poise, Cher saw right through it. Her take, Melania's main contribution to the nation was proving you can survive 4 years of public humiliation by blinking slowly and pretending you don't understand English. But this wasn't just personal, it was deeply political. Cher tore through Trump's presidency like it was the final rose ceremony on a washed-up reality show, exposing the central contradiction of a man who sold himself as a savior to the working class while constructing golden elevators for his own ego. Trump didn't drain the swamp, He redecorated it in fake gold and handed out room keys to his Enopolis.
Christmas wish. Do you have one?
Yeah, I do. I hope the Republicans disappear.
Well, you actually said that Donald Trump gave you an ulcer the last time he was in power. Why is that?
He almost did. I'm not kidding you. He almost did. But I mean, if anyone could give you an ulcer, it's him.
Why? What is it about him that drives you nuts?
Everything. How long do you have?
I think about 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, just keep thinking afterwards for about 20